Right, boys, so it's been almost 2 weeks. No, it's been more than 2 weeks since the 0.5 league started, and I've been playing with the Blackflame Chaos Chronomancer for a while when I had the chance. And let me tell you guys, there has been some changes to the build. So, starting with the changes, we got rid of the Thunderstorm. We are no longer using Thunderstorm. Instead, we have Frostflame Nova. What this does is, when you channel your Incinerate and when the channeling ends, right before your ignite duration, you have to use the skill on the enemy. And what this does is, takes the whole ignite damage and deals that ignite damage, the full ignite damage from Incinerate, for the full duration again to the boss, which is a huge damage boost in single target scenarios. The second change I've done to the build is I've put Scouring Flame. This is a Kalgurian support gem that came in 0.5. I put this instead of the Searing Flames support gem because what this does is, even though it gives less of the more ignite magnitude, it gives us more ignite damage per second than Searing Flame. Why, you might ask? Because Searing Flame reduces the damage from our hits. Even though Incinerate doesn't hit, we still have to rely on the hit part of the Incinerate to scale the ignite base ignite damage, right? So when we're reducing the ignite the hit part of the skill, even though it doesn't hit, we're reducing the base ignite. And Scouring Flame just ignores this and keeps the base ignite and adds more ignite magnitude on it, and this resulted in having more ignite DPS overall. Then, as I said, we added Frostflame Nova, and I'm using Astral Projection with the Efficiency 2 on it. Keep in mind, you want to have a very low gem level on the Frostflame Nova, so you can use it without having any problems, like Runic Ward, right? This costs 17 Runic Ward right now, and I have it on my second skill slot. And even if I'm using the staff setup, which has almost no Runic Ward on it, I only have it on my helmet, right? I have it on my helmet and focus. I don't know. I was just testing, right? So even though I have low ward, I can use the skill, and that's just it. You deal the ignite damage, right? You deal the ignite damage. The Incinerate ends. You cast the skill. GG, boss is dead. Also, another thing I wanted to mention, I have changed the passive tree a bit, right? There were some nerfs to energy shield recharge at 0.5 start, and some of these nodes over here kind of got moved to make space for new stuff. And what this did is this removed these change over here removed the jewel thing, the jewel setup we were doing with the timeless jewel, right? We had like ignite magnitude with notables and stuff over here. This is gone, sadly. Instead, I wanted to focus more on survivability now with the ES nerfs, so we are still picking this node over here, the Convalescence node. There's some faster energy shield recharge stuff here. I decided to pick these up for faster energy shield recharge. The start of energy shield recharge, rather. I'm sorry. There's more faster start of energy shield recharge over here, and even more over here on the starting area. And what this does is I have 1.8 seconds of energy shield recharge delay. This means like you're running around in the map, you're getting hit, like in no moment you will start your energy shield recharge back again. And on top of that, I've added a new jewel from I've seen from the others. I won't claim the like I found this thing, right? I saw this from the others in POE Ninja. What they did is they got a from nothing diamond with Oasis on it. Sorry, Oasis on it, right? Which means we can allocate stuff from over here. These stuff from Oasis over here. What these do is they give us more ignite magnitudes, like magnitude of ailments you inflict, and faster ignite damage. There's also some ignite magnitudes over here. I've removed some of the critical nodes to take those to have more consistent time against bosses without relying much on crit. Also, I've tested a lot here, right? Without sense of time and apex of the moment. I decided to take phase form and temple rift to see how it feels. And let me tell you, it's a great addition to the build. I didn't think it would be this good because without temple rift we were like sitting at like 0 mana and we were just waiting for our mana to fill up again. We would use flask, whatever, right? Instead, what we can do right now is imagine there's a boss over here which is like changing phases, right? We can like cast spells, rewind back in time, get full mana, and basically get full sigil power and get Incinerate field instantly between boss phases. I have done this so many times during Arbiter of Ash, Arbiter of Divinity, other bosses, the Ritual boss, the Delirium boss. Like this Temple Rift skill is just really good. And even without sense of time, the build can still function really good. In order to do that, I've picked up some cast speed nodes over here for like 3 points. It's already here, we're near it. For 3 points, we are getting 22% cast speed. For 3 points. Before we had to get all of these here for the jewel setup, which was like kinda underwhelming to be honest. Now we have 22% cast speed from over here. That's it. There has been some questions about the build as well. I want to answer some of those questions. So, one of those questions was, can I use any other Ascendancy other than Chronomancer and Lich for this build? Yes, you can. However, the reason we're using Chronomancer is the time freeze. If we don't have time freeze, imagine there's a boss here, we cast our stuff, right? We cast our Incinerate, boom, we got hit. Incinerate channeling will be interrupted and you will start casting Incinerate from the very beginning, which leads to a big, I mean like massive damage loss for a single target. Also, Chronomancer just has Temple Rift, which again, as I said, you can cast spells and get like, go back in time, get fuel, get mana, get energy shield, and you basically take 30% less damage. So mapping is not a problem at all. And bossing, again, you have time freeze, which is pretty nice. Another question I wanted to answer was if I could use fire spells in this build instead of Essence Drain, Contagion, Dark Effigy. No, yes you can. However, I did not test it at all. I do not like fire spells in this game. Sadly, the only fire spell I like is Incinerate. I did not pay enough attention to them to actually make them work. You can cook absolutely whatever you want and send me your results in Discord. I made a Discord server to discuss about this build and more builds in the future. You might as well join it. I'm gonna leave that in the description, okay? And what I want to do right now is, there was also some questions about how to get a magnitude of damaging ailments staff. How do you make this? So, first of all, you need to find a staff which has, let's say, fire spell skills, right? Fire spell skills +7. You can do this as well with all spell skills above the Sigil of Power. Furthermore, get this to a higher level to have more spell damage from the Sigil of Power itself. But I decided to do this for now. Why not? Then what we want to do is, like, say, extra fire damage. Another important thing, as I'm mentioning this, extra fire damage works with Incinerate. However, since we're converting our damage from fire to chaos, and because of damage calculations in Path of Exile 2, fire damage increases, the percentage increases, like spell damage percentage, like over here, and chaos damage increases. For fire damage increase, the Incinerate will not get affected because of conversions. Conversions happen before the increases, right? That's why we are looking for either chaos damage on our staff, spell damage, or extra fire damage. If you go with fire spell skills, you won't be able to get chaos damage on here. I'm gonna tell you that right now, okay? Let's say 45. Then we want a magic item, right? These are pretty cheap. They even went cheaper when I crafted my staff. Let's say I'll pick this up. It has Sigil of Power on it, which is pretty nice for our build, right? I'm gonna pick this up now, and I'm gonna show you guys how to craft an identical or even better staff than mine. If we can load in, that is. Oh, I don't have enough exalts, my bad. Currency exchange. I'm kind of broke, by the way. If you guys are wondering, I am kind of broke. Holy. Boom, boom. Then we get the staff.
Oh, nice choice.
There we go. Now, there are a couple of choices you can do here. You can go to your essence tab, right? If you have one, this is what it is. You can use it. You can use a critical essence over here, critical hit chance essence, or you can go for spell damage essence. Make this a rare item. I personally like to go with a spell damage one instead of critical hit chance, because even if this is good for Incinerate, spell damage is generally better for the staff itself. That's why I'm going to use a greater essence of sorcery to roll guaranteed increased spell damage percentage on my staff. Boom. I got 164% spell damage here. We have 2 prefixes and a suffix. What we want to do right now is get a Omen of the Sovereign Abyss thing, I don't know what you call it, but it is pretty cheap. What this does is it guarantees a Ulama modifier, right? It guarantees an Ulama modifier, and this magnitude of damaging ailments is an Ulama modifier. You can see over here, the secret prefix modifier, Ulamans, tier 1, right? Then what you want to do is get a prefix, Omen of Sinistral Necromancy. This is also pretty cheap.
I'll fill that in as soon as I can.
What this does is this forces a prefix modifier on our staff, right? Boom, boom. We activate those two. Do we need an Omen of Abyssal Echoes? Probably not. If you want to reroll for a higher stat, you absolutely can. Now that I've activated both of these, I'm gonna use a Preserved Jawbone, right? Boom. What do we get? A prefix modifier, right? Then what we do is go to Well of Souls, we come over here, we say hi, and like, boom, magnitude of damaging ailments you inflict. There you go. It is as easy as that. The crafting was pretty cheap as well. I've gotten this staff for less than a divine, right? The base, and the crafting itself was even cheaper. I saw a lot of guys do this stuff and sell these on the market for a bunch of money for no reason, like tens of divines, which is crazy. What you want to do after this is just you grab your Exalt Orb. You can go either Exalt Orb or Exalt Orb, it doesn't matter much, and boom, you slam. That's it. Pray for good suffixes. I did not hit anything good, but your staff is almost done. Then you boom boom for 2 runes. Boom, iron runes for spell damage. That is pretty much it. You're done with the staff. And we compare the damage between these two. This is even an upgrade for me. Look at that. I'm getting a tiny bit of boost. But as you guys can see, I've made myself a pretty good staff. What you can do is go for +6 to all spell skills and get spell damage and chaos damage together on the staff, and then go with the increased magnitude of damaging ailments here as well. You can have spell damage, chaos damage, and magnitude of damaging ailments. Then you have to pray for, you know, again, these suffixes to hit something good, because we can't anymore guarantee other stuff. But that is pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, let me I can't do this. Let me know down in the comments. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.